Former President Jacob Zuma has been back in the High Court, this time over money, not politics. The presidency wants him to repay nearly 29 million rand in legal fees the state covered for his corruption defense. It follows a Supreme Court of Appeal ruling last year that found Zuma was never entitled to taxpayer funding for his personal case. The High Court must now decide how the money will be recovered and whether his assets or pension could be attached if he doesn't pay. DA Federal Chair Helen Zille says taxpayers deserve their refund.
So, former President Jacob Zuma has been ordered by the Gauteng High Court to reimburse 28.9 million rand for legal fees. Jacob Zuma suffered a setback on Wednesday afternoon when the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria decided that he had to reimburse the slightly more than 28.9 million rand that he had spent on his private lawsuits over the years. This is from January 25th, 2024 until the date of payment. Interest on 18.9 million rand will accrue. So Judge Anthony Miller ordered that Zuma make this payment to the state attorney, 28.9 million rand, as well as pay interest as calculated at the prescribed rate. So it was also ordered that in the event that Jacob Zuma fails to satisfy the judgment debt in this matter within 60 days of the date of the court's order, the state attorney is directed to have a right of execution issued by the registrar of this court for the attachment and sale of his immovable and movable properties to satisfy the judgment debt. So this includes his presidential pension benefit or portion thereof, if required and subject to an order of court authorizing that such attachment order can be issued. So Judge Miller also ordered that the state attorney must report on affidavit to the court within 3 months of the date of the order, and thereafter every 3 months until Zuma's debt is paid. So the state attorney must report to the court on the steps it has taken to obtain the money or the step it intends to take to get the money. So while Zuma's legal team said in the court papers he does not have the means to pay, the judge further ordered the interest should be added to some of his debt, calculated from last year up until he has paid the debt. The order follows an application by the presidency, the state attorney, and the Democratic Alliance for Zuma to pay the money previously paid for by the state towards his legal costs incurred and relating to his criminal prosecution and litigation instituted against him in his personal capacity. So 2 courts, 3 judges of the Gauteng Division as well as the Supreme Court of Appeal ruled that Zuma personally had to pay back his legal fees. The Supreme Court of Appeal's confirmation in April 2021 was followed with a letter of demand for repayment of 18.2 million rand. The judge also said that he is bound by the decision of the 2 courts that Zuma had to pay the money back. This was in spite of the arguments by counsel for Zuma, who maintained that Zuma was not granted the money in the first place through corruption. His legal fees were paid from the state coffers following wrong legal advice to the state. So while Zuma did benefit from the money, it was not his doing that it was given to him. Those officials who allowed the state to pay for his legal fees up until the court in 2019 put an end to this should be held liable to pay the money back as it was irregular expenditure, his counsel argued.